We'll get cozy. I'm going to draw one card from two of my decks, one card each. One deck being the Wild Unknown, which I'm shuffling very messily right now. And then the other deck is called the Moonchild Tarot. The imagery in the Wild Unknown uses animals or plants instead of humans. And then Moonchild has this beautiful kind of watery, other dimension, collage, ambient type vibe. So we have two different artistic vibes, two different interpretations of the same archetypes here. And I really appreciate this about tarot, is that there are so many different decks, and especially as we just continue to move forward, there will continue to be more and more interpretations of these archetypes, ones that will involve, or rather include, different diversities, different, different ways of viewing the binary, making it a little more open. The original archetypes of tarot can get a little binary and a little... I just love that as we progress further, there's more and more different interpretations and voices being heard. I'll just leave it at that. From Wild Unknown, we have the Nine of Wands. I'll just hold this here for a little bit, and you can notice anything that you notice. What do you interpret from this image here? Hello, welcome. Great timing. This is our first card, Nine of Wands. And then this is Moonchild, Eight of Cups. There's a little more stuff going on visually, so I'll give us a little tour from down to up. And here's what it looked like, what they look like together. And it's cool, they kind of have a similar color scheme. And the shading too. Okay, so we will get into a meditation for a bit. Slow things down, draw ourselves inward so you can get comfortable. My neighbors are hosting a Brazilian bossa nova band in their backyard. If you hear that music, that's what that is. May or may not be audible. But let's just deepen our breath and tune into that sound, the sound of our own breath. So we may let it out as a few sighs. Maybe even a little, Good. We'll take another breath in and out. Let it out as a big, deep sigh. And continue to let out all the air. Fully, deeply let it go. And then notice the next inhale whenever it comes. Slowly fill up the lungs to their fullest capacity. Slowly let the air back out all the way. And continue this at your own pace. When you deeply inhale and invite more and more breath in, and see all the capacity that you have to expand. You may pause, and then you may be able to continue the inhale even more. You can breathe in more than you may have thought. Same with the exhale. Same goes. You might really fully let go of all the air. You may kind of hold on a little bit, linger until you take in that next breath. When it comes to this sort of very deep, elongated breathing, be mindful. The invitation is to find your limit. See if you can really find your true limit. Not where you think your limit is, but where it actually is. With this next round of breath, you can experiment with very long, deep breaths. And then as you're ready, you can just slow and ease yourself into a normal way of breathing. And we'll breathe here and be here for about a minute. 1 minute to just be. Notice the next few breaths that you take. Good. And tuck give a brief synopsis of each card here, and then we can get deeper into it as we embody. Well, let's start with the Eight of Cups. That was the imagery with the little stream flowing through this rocky terrain. And we have deep layers of mountainous earth expanding further behind. And then you also see the layers of the atmosphere and then planets outside of the realm that we're actually physically in, where the water is. So that sense of layering is very well represented here for that Eight of Cups, being a layering of emotions. And very also aligned, I feel very aligned with the representation of the water flowing through this rocky terrain of various different obstacles, like these rocks or maybe heavier emotions that aren't necessarily easy for us. So it's finding that balance and ease and continual flow between the blissful, happy moments and the other side to those exact same emotions, the polar version of that side, or of that emotion, of the feelings. So finding a flow and balance between all of it. And now the Nine of Wands. That image, we had like staircase leading to this crescent moon. Wands being of fire, so action, will, power. When we see this staircase, it's that sense of determination, of leveling up, perhaps, of getting further down your desired path. Your actions culminating to this moment, this next thing that lies ahead. So we have a feeling card and a doing card. To personalize this to ourselves, we can think of any action we're taking that we feel that we're getting some momentum in, that we maybe are seeing an end in sight, or maybe these actions are really starting to pay off in some way, shape, or form. And then we have this Eight of Cups, this emotional projection we may be layering on top of the result we may be coming to. Or maybe the action itself is bringing up certain emotions. It seems like the question here is how do we continue to move forward and flow, not assigning good or bad to any of our actions or the end result. But can we simply just be in it and follow it through to the end? Take a few more breaths, whatever position you're in. Feel these breaths in your body. Feel them in your lungs and chest and belly and hips. Feel them in your fingers and toes and face. Good. And if you're not already in a seated position, allow your breath to get you there. We'll meet one another. Sitting, maybe cross-legged, maybe tucking the ankles, your choice. It will take time to introduce your seat to the floor. If you were already sitting, just reintroduce. Notice the left side, the right side. Maybe just noticing the low back. I am noticing my hip keeps popping when I do that. Maybe I'll stop doing that. Noticing your length of the spine. Feel how tall you are. Do your inhales allow you to grow a little more? Your exhales can allow you to grow too. You may be more physically realize that these inhales, right, this breathing in, this expansion, this growth is obvious with the breath in, but the growth still happens when you let go of the air. We're continuing to grow with all the things we let go of. Even if the exhale feels like a sense of sinking or lowering, it's still moving you forward. Notice the muscles of your face, soften them, soften the jaw. You know what, open the mouth a little bit. Let's be mouth breathers, it's okay. Good. And then notice your neck too. So this part of the body connecting your head to the rest of it. Your brain, your ears, your eyes, your mouth and nose. So all the sensory input regions, all the analytical part, but then also our face and our outward expressions of what we're processing. All of it here. And then noticing the neck and how it fits in with the rest of us, of our body. We'll take some time to soften here in the neck. We can bring our hands to the floor outside of our hips. This can help stabilize us. And just drop the chin towards the chest slowly. Lengthen through the back of the neck. You might open and close the jaw again. Good. Noticing the shoulders over the hips. Protecting the spine by engaging the core ever so slightly. Just where's the navel? Just notice that. If you can just bring awareness there, that's all you need. We'll take another breath. Allow your inhale to initiate movement upwards and raise your nose up to the sky. Open through the throat. You might open and close the mouth here too. Maybe even stick the tongue out. Maybe even wiggle it. Noticing another breath. Exhale, tip the chin back down to the chest. Just one full exhale down. Good. Inhale the nose up to the sky. Follow this at your own rhythm. Shoulders down are still. It's just the head and neck that's making this motion. One more round of breath. Complete inhale. Complete exhale. Good. With your next breath in, involve the upper back. Puff the chest forward a little bit. Shoulder blades come together. Good. As you exhale, involve the upper back too. Drop the shoulders forward a bit, hunching down. Good. Next inhale, push the heart forward, navel too comes forward. We bring it up. And then as you exhale, really fully deepen it, more spinal involvement. With your next breath in, arms are involved. We swoop them and forward and up. And then we exhale. Maybe you reach forward or behind you, whatever feels better. I kind of like to cross my arms over a bit, maybe grab my shoulders. And we'll pass this back and forth in our own way. Just inhaling full spinal movement. You might notice a shift in your seat as you do this. The weight of your body is being pressed around. Really come into your full breaths and full movements. Good. Notice the spine for your next round of breath in and out. Good. And then with your breath in, arms go up. And then with your breath out, arms go towards the right side and we kind of twist towards the right as if you're moving energy with your hands. And then we inhale, the arms come back to center. And we exhale, kind of like a swoop over to the left. If you've worked with Tai Chi or Qigong or any sort of energy movement, this can be more intuitive with you. This is a new way of moving. Just notice your own breath here and own way of doing it. You're doing it right, even if you're questioning it. Just breathing it in and just kind of passing it to the left and the right. And your head might follow your hands. You might look at the hands. Good, we'll do another round from side to side. And then whenever you finish the left side next, we'll inhale again to center whenever you get there. And the next exhale after the left side brings our hands to the heart center. And we'll meet here. We'll meet one another here. As we're meeting one another, just notice what you feel in your own self, how the arms feel, how the hands feel, and how it is pressing into your heart. Giving some compassion to ourselves. Let's congratulate ourselves for something. Something this week that we did that was awesome. Whatever it is. Maybe it was waking up. It can be as simple as that. Maybe there's something specific. Maybe something you did at work or at home for someone or for yourself. Congratulate yourself. Congratulate yourself. Really feel it in your heart. See if you can feel the energy that you moved from your hands to this heart. When you inhale, bring the awareness and energy to the throat. Soften that jaw again. Congratulate yourself verbally. This is the best opportunity to do it. All of you are muted. No one can hear you, but you can hear you. And that's the point of this. Congratulate yourself with words. And as a teacher, I guess I can demonstrate as well. Okay. I am congratulating myself for starting classes and furthering my education this week. Okay, I hope you all praised yourself out loud verbally. Guess I can't prove it if you did or not. But notice how it felt to say that and to hear it. Breathe in again. Notice the very center of your forehead. Focus in right here on the third eye. Allow your congratulations and your own praise and your own self-worth to really be known here. Trusting your own intuition and insight. Beautiful. Breathe it in, and when you're ready, bring the knuckles of the thumb to the third eye. Bring the hands here. And just take a few moments to be right here. Self-praise. Yes. We are all awesome. We did amazing things this week. Take a big, deep breath. Exhale, bow it forward. Hands might come to the ground. Just hang out here for a bit. Feeling the forward fold. And then eventually we will shift this forward fold here into a child's pose, rolling onto our knees and the tops of our feet come together. Good. And we'll just take about 12 or so breaths in this child's pose. You might be in deep stillness, or maybe you wiggle around a little bit, shifting that forehead on the floor back and forth. Feeling the lungs lift and lower with the breath. Noticing the heart pressing down towards the floor, the hips sinking towards the heels. Good, a couple more breaths. Good, and then whenever you're ready, lift yourself out of this, and we'll meet seated again in a staff pose with our legs stretched out. And let's take a couple moments to really lengthen it, shake out the knees, the ankles, the toes. Oh yes, any cracks that happen. Good. Then we'll stay in staff pose for a little bit. Our hands will be on the floor. our shoulders over the hips. Good. And with an inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, fold forward, maybe grabbing the feet, ankles, or calves. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine, really lifting that heart. Exhale, sinking it down. And a couple more breaths. Good, just one more. Good, and we'll lift back up. Let's bend the right knee and bring the sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. Reframe your seat on the floor. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold and reach towards the foot. Stay here for a couple moments, allowing the breath to deeply exist. Good, and then another breath in and out. Good, inhale the arms back up. Exhale the right hand down. Inhale the hips up. Good, hang out here for a little bit, just with those hips lifted. You might even kind of shift your weight a little bit, find it, notice the rib cage. Good, and then breathe it in. When you exhale, lower the seat and fold. Full exhale. Good, full inhale, pelvis comes up, right arm down. Good, pass this back and forth. The exhale brings you here. Good, and then the inhale lifts you back up again. So we have more than just one physical movement now. A little more complicated than just lifting and lowering our neck. But with these deep, full breaths, we can fit all of it in. We can make all of this stuff happen with just one inhale, completely shift the way that our body is positioned, the parts of the body that are touching the floor, where the head is. And just one breath. Good, whenever you exhale and fold back down, allow that to be your last round. And we'll come back to a seat. And straighten out both legs for a moment. And pause. Sit with that shifting and notice what you feel from side to side. And breathe it in, lift the hands up. Exhale, fold. Couple breaths here. How does it feel to fold? What's the left leg feel versus the right? Whenever you complete your next exhale, you can release yourself back to a seat. And then we'll open that left knee. We're not crossing yet. So feel this positioning in the hips. You might adjust your seat. And again, we'll come into this, but just as intentionally. So big inhale, big exhale. We'll find this for a little bit in our bodies and just hang out for a few breaths. You might notice some chronic behavior in your hamstrings or knee. Maybe you soften that knee a little bit. Good, deep breath. Inhale, raise the arms up. The left hand stabilizes us now, and we lift the pelvis. And we stay for a bit. We find it. We might wiggle. Good, big breath in. And exhale to your seat and fold. Go to your flow. Good. Whenever you get to your next exhale, allow that to be your last round. And then come back to a seat. Both legs in front. Big breath in, reaching the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Last one here. Take one more breath. Good. Bring it back up to a seat. Let's come to a straddle position. You can go as far as you feel comfortable. And support your seat and the way the sit bones are on the floor. Hands outside the hips. Feel those palms on the ground. And then feel some engagement in the feet too. Some awareness, maybe even extending the toes a bit. Good. Notice the head over the shoulders, over the hips. Little awareness in the core. Strength in the back of the heart. Really notice the hands on the floor and those palms. Good. And then drag the hands outside your hips a bit, so just the fingertips are on the floor. Good. Notice all 10 fingertips. When you're ready, flip the palms to face upwards. Do you feel the memory of the ground on your fingertips? With an inhale, lift off, bring those arms up, and bring the fingertips together. Good. And then slowly exhale in this mudra with your fingertips together, hovering it over your heart. Just notice the feedback of these fingertips with one another. And then very slowly transition it to an Anjali Mudra. Very slowly bringing more of the fingertips, fingers in general together. Eventually, all the fingers and all the palms will connect. Notice as you do that, all the more connections that are being made from hand to hand. Maybe a little more heat, a little more texture. Good. Feel it here at the heart. Inhale with these hands at the heart. Remember the praise you gave yourself. And then with an exhale, just bring the hands forward, palms facing in front of you. Bring that praise outward. Good. And with an inhale, the hands come back together to the heart. And with an exhale, just a little twist and lean with the hands towards the right foot. Good. Bring it back to center with an inhale. Really notice with these pauses in the center to feel the full palms together. With an exhale, bring the hands towards the left foot. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. And as we pass this back and forth, the intention here is to really feel this give and take and receive and passing on of this love and adoration. And how that is what helps keeping things moving. Encouragement, belief, speaking to our own greatness, speaking to others. And maybe how we spread this wisdom is by directly praising and pointing out the good in others, or maybe it's simply by pointing out the good in ourselves, and then others witness that and help them realize their own goodness within themselves. So we all have our own journeys that we're going down, and we all have our own barriers that we'll encounter. And I only know my own experiences and barriers. I don't know exactly what anyone else is going through. But there's still that compassion and that understanding that we're all in this together. Whenever you finish with your left foot, bring the hands back to center to the heart, and then just bring the soles of the feet together for a Baddha Konasana, bending in the knees, feeling it right here in the heart, and how the feet are coming together to little prayer feet. We'll be right here for a few moments. Hands and feet together. Another breath. When you're ready, make your way onto your back. And you might make little pit stops or any other adjusting movements here. Maybe dropping the knees from side to side. Good. Hug the knees into your chest, both of them. And you can rock a little bit. Lengthen through the tailbone. Good. And we'll come to a spinal twist. So we can drop the knees over to the left, stacking the hips, and encouraging the right shoulder to drop down to the floor. as we open up our wing, our arm over to the right. Good. We'll give ourselves plenty of time here in this final twist. About 12 or so breaths. Allow the next breath to be full and deep. Releasing when you're ready to shift the back of the hips back to the floor. And then whenever you're ready, we'll twist the other way. Good, and we'll take another breath. Release when you're ready. Returning to your back. And making any other last movements that feel right for you. Maybe it's a happy baby. Maybe legs up the wall. Maybe a starfish. Anything else your body needs to close out practice. Good. As we begin to settle, make your way into your own final resting position. It could be on your back, on your belly, on your side. Maybe you end in a seated meditation. Just position yourself and scan your body. Starting with the bottoms of your feet. And then center your awareness even more to just the right foot, and even more specifically to the right big toe. It's really honing in right there, the big toe on the right foot. And now notice the second toe, and the third toe, and the fourth toe, and the fifth toe. Noticing the entire bottom of the right foot, the meaty inner part of the foot, and the top of the foot. Noticing the inner ankle and the outer ankle and the heel. Notice the entire right calf and shin and the right knee, the right thigh, the hip, glute, and the right side of the pelvis. Noticing the right lower back, side body, right rib cage, right chest, armpit, shoulder blade. Noticing the right shoulder, down the right arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, back of the hand, palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Notice the entire right hand, the entire right arm, the entire right arm and torso, the entire right side of the body, all the way back down to the right foot. And noticing both bottoms of the feet again. Bring the awareness back to the left side, over to the left side, honing in on that left big toe. Feel the entire left big toe and the second toe and the third toe and the fourth toe and the fifth toe, the top of the foot and the bottom of the foot, the inner and outer ankles, the left heel, the left shin and calf, the knee, the thigh, the glutes and hip, the left side of the low back, working your way up the left side body and rib cage, the chest and heart, the shoulders and shoulder blade, down the left arm, through the elbow, forearm, wrist, back of the hand and palm, the thumb, the next finger, the next finger, the next finger, the last finger, the entire left hand, the entire left arm, the entire left arm and side body, and the entire left side of the body, all the way down, including the leg, honing in back to the foot. And now both feet again. Both legs, the entire pelvis down. Notice the core and torso, the entire shoulder and torso down. Good, and now noticing both arms and hands, the torso, and both legs and feet. Let's take a couple moments to scan the entire body. And then centering it back to the heart. Noticing the center of your heart region. And then with an inhale, bring it to the neck and throat. Connecting all of this peace that we created in our body, sending it to the head, softening in the face, the jaw, the eyes, forehead, continuing to soften and let go. The exhales are still growth. We'll stay here for the next couple minutes. Whenever you inhale next, breathe it in through the third eye, the very center of your forehead. The awareness zooms in here. When you exhale, send it down the entire body, all the way to the fingertips and toes. Good, and with your inhale, invite some movement in the fingers and toes. And then allow that movement to spread, wrists and ankles, maybe some neck movements. Allow the movements to be your own. You might curl up on your side for a bit. Good. Whenever you're ready, come to a seat. Let's close out with one another. Hands at the heart. We worked with balancing fire and water. balancing the sides of our body and the parts of our body, and the balance between the body and the mind. Thank you very much for showing up and practicing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for the service that you bring this world, the actions that you do, the beauty that your life brings others. Thank you. We'll close out with an Om, which you can join me in chanting or receive it by listening. We'll inhale. Om.